Hi angels, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Carissa. It is so nice to meet you. I am just going to get right into it. I wanted to discuss with you guys today my spiritual viewpoints of success and what success means to me and how I could potentially pass off some knowledge to you guys on success. And maybe by the end of this video, your viewpoints of living a successful life will change, or maybe I will say something that resonates with you. So if that sounds at all interesting to you, please keep on watching. A few months back, I did a video entitled How to Be Beautiful, and this is going to kind of go off on that series as well. I'm titling this video How to Be Successful, but what I really mean is how to feel successful. It is not my job to sit here and tell you what makes a successful life and what doesn't. As we get into today's video, you'll know what I mean by that. Firstly, I want to tell you a little bit about my own journey towards a successful life, or what I think is a successful life. My channel is currently so close to 10,000 subscribers, which is insane, and I am so grateful, and it has made me reflect quite a bit on my journey towards the life that I'm living now. When I started this channel, I was living in Florida and I had just quit my customer service job that I worked for 6 years. And now I'm so close to 100K, which was one of my goals when I started this channel. But I'm also living a life where I wake up every day and I'm really, really proud of what I'm doing. And I really want you guys to feel the same way. I want you to wake up every day and live a life that is authentic to you and feels magical. I worked that customer service job for 6 years by my own hand, okay? Because I was simply living a lifestyle that was meant to please others, and I was doing what I thought I was supposed to do, and I always thought my dreams were so far out of reach. But now that I have slowly but surely been accumulating my dreams, I'm literally like Thanos. I'm like accumulating all of my dreams. I'm accumulating the infinity stones, if you will. And I hope to keep going, and I hope to keep being successful. But I didn't start my success journey until I took the following steps. And these steps, I feel like, are crucial, integral parts of living a life that you're proud of. So I made a few notes. I'm going to just kind of have an open discussion with you guys on success and how I have achieved success and how I wake up every day feeling successful. First step, and potentially the most important, is to define success for you. Everybody's idea of success is going to look different, because we are all different as human beings. For some people, being successful is starting their own business and making a lot of money from said business. For some people, it's starting a family. When I was working my customer service job, I was entirely living out the fantasies of people around me and living my life in a way that I thought would please others and what I thought would be successful on paper. But it was incredibly hard to go home every single day and look in the mirror and know that I was living inauthentically and know that I was not living the life that I wanted. So I started asking myself the hard questions. What do I want? What would make me happy to wake up every single day? What do I want my life to look like in a way that it feels worth living? What makes a successful life for me? I defined that as being able to wake up every day and live spontaneously, and to live a life of freedom, and to live the life of an artist. If you're a little more curious on my insight on my own life, I do have a podcast called High and Hexed over on my Patreon. I will have that linked down below if you're curious more on my thoughts of this channel and success and how I've gotten here. I really expand on it over there. But basically, that's the overview of where I started. And I looked around and I was wondering how the hell I was gonna get out. How the hell was I going to build the life that I wanted? Because I spent so long not doing that and not pursuing what I wanted. Defining what you want is absolutely the first step. The universe cannot hear the call of your desires unless you know what they are. And then once you know, you can properly ask for them. So I encourage you to just get a piece of paper or take your journal and write down the life that you want. And I don't mean in a way of like scripting or manifesting. I simply just want you to write down what comes to your mind when you think of living a life that seems worth living to you? Is it traveling? Is it getting married and having children? Is it starting your own business? Is it climbing the ladder at a certain company? Is it moving? Like, what is your dream? What is success to you? I want you to write that down. Once you figure out the goal that you're wanting to achieve, now it is your job to nurture the mindset surrounding that goal. Don't be afraid to dream big. And don't be afraid to ask for crazy things. Successful people are not shy in asking for what they want. Just think of it this way. The more that you ask for, the more the universe will give you, and the more you'll have to be grateful for. And all I can say, like, the number one thing I learned in this journey towards a successful life for myself was that gratitude is the attitude. Being so utterly grateful for all that you have and all that you have succeeded at thus far will only bring you more blessings and more success. Whenever I say nurture your mindset surrounding your goal or your dream, what I mean is believing that you deserve the success that you seek. You have the fundamental right to a balanced, successful life, and you will achieve everything that you want. The second that you start loving yourself unconditionally and putting in the action towards your goals because you know that that is what you deserve. So many people go through life thinking that they don't deserve certain things, or they're not the type of person to live a certain type of lifestyle, which is honestly no fault of your own. I'm sure it is a mixture of opinions of people around you and societal conditioning, as it was for me. But just know that that's not the truth. You are absolutely deserving. I'm actually a firm believer that whatever you desire desires you, and the life that I desired was one of freedom, and it came to me because I desired it, and I desired it wholeheartedly and unapologetically. Essentially, putting your dreams first, simplified, is just putting yourself first. Putting your wants and desires first over what other people expect of you. I talked about this before in my How to Be Beautiful video, but I'm gonna briefly touch on the idea of the inner child. What I like to do whenever I'm questioning whether or not I deserve the life that I'm living, I like to think of the younger version of me. I like to think of my inner child. I honestly love to think of pleasing my inner child and making her proud. I like to visualize the younger version of me seeing the life that I have now and just being so proud of what I've done, which is really what keeps the limiting beliefs for me at bay. Because limiting beliefs, it's not a conquer it once and then it's over. It is a pesky little thing that loves to pop up whenever you're going through obstacles or you're simply just having a rough day. A lot of people get that misconception that's like once you beat a limiting belief, then it's gone for good. And I would say that the more success you achieve, you are more likely to develop a sense of imposter syndrome. In simple terms, just limiting beliefs trying to hold you back. In the planning stages of achieving your dream life, yes, you have to battle those limiting beliefs, but as you're taking the steps and as you're going through your journey of choosing yourself and choosing the life that you want to live, those limiting beliefs will come back up. And the way that I like to keep them at bay is, one, prioritizing my inner child. And you know what's so funny is throughout my adult life, I kept thinking to myself, I'm just trying to find myself. I'm trying to find myself. I'm trying to find what I want to do, what's going to make me happy. And I've found now that I've kind of been on the other end of such a journey of really honoring my love and my passion for life, I've found that I really have just come back around to who I was as a kid. It's really been a full circle moment. All the things that I loved as a child is what I'm pursuing unapologetically now, and it has been so healing for my inner child. You are your most authentic whenever you're a kid. So if you're wondering what it is you even want, if you're not even sure what kind of life you want, I want you to ask yourself what you did as a kid for enjoyment and what made you excited as a child, and start there and the rest will reveal itself to you. How do you practice this mindset shift, this shattering of limiting beliefs? Well, For me, it all goes back to spirituality. And I'm saying spirituality, and I'm not meaning that in a religious aspect at all. I just mean connecting with one's spirit. Authenticity lies in the spirit. If I'm feeling low confidence or low self-worth, or if I'm questioning myself a lot, if I'm questioning my path to success, I turn back, I turn everything off, and I reconnect with my spirit and to my spirit guides in whatever way feels right in that moment, whether it's divination, meditation, Reiki, practicing the craft. It takes self-awareness and active effort to keep the love within yourself alive. And it's a relationship that must be nurtured like any other. Even if you have to look in the mirror every single day and affirm to yourself that you deserve everything you want, if that's what you have to do, then do it. If you have to write it down 100 times, do it. It will be so worth it in the end, I promise you. Also, going off the basis of spirituality linked with success, I want you to try to detach from the idea of materialism as success. And what is materialism? It's money, material belongings, subscriber numbers, all of that, okay? As exciting as 100K or almost hitting 100K, I think I'm gonna hit it pretty soon. As exciting as that is, I do not link that with my successful life. What defines my successful life is living a life of magic, living a life of freedom. And as long as I'm doing that, I can look at myself in the mirror every single day and tell myself that I'm succeeding. I'm doing what I set out to do. And that's why it is so important to define what you want and why you want it. Be really, really true and authentic to that, which brings me to my next point. Embrace the cringe and be unapologetic. Stop caring what people think. All you need to worry about is what you need and what you want, not what others want from you. And I don't mean that in the way of being selfish. I'm not promoting selfishness. I'm promoting putting one's self first. And I feel like there is a huge difference between the two. And a lot of people can get that idea muddled together that being selfish is inherently bad and putting yourself first is inherently bad. And it is to a certain extent. Anything is bad if you take it to an extreme. I'm not saying to be a selfish person. I'm saying to keep yourself at the forefront of your mind and realizing that your opinion is really the only one that matters, especially when it comes to artistry. If you're pursuing a artistic free life like I did, like I currently am pursuing, you have to honor your vision. And you have to honor your own unique individual journey towards that artistic life, even if it could be potentially cringy to some people. I just like to always think of successful people that I look up to and how they were unappreciated before they were appreciated. And there might be times where you get a lot of pushback from your peers, your family, or even strangers in what it is you're doing and what it is you are pursuing. And that is when it is your job to literally put on your blinders and keep persevering in what it is you want. Keep persevering towards your goal because it's your life. It is not anybody else's life. And I will say that when it comes to family members, etc., who are trying to give you advice in something or discourage you from taking a certain path, I'm sure that that advice comes from a place of love, but I'm sure it also comes from a place of them failing at that themselves. And we'll get into the idea of failure in a minute and how that is so integral to success. Just keep in mind to make sure you meet all opinions with love and not with an argumentative nature or combativeness. And that is something as an Aries moon I'm still working on. But these people who are trying to give you unsolicited advice, me included, okay, are specifically talking from their own life experience. So just make sure that you're filtering all opinions during this journey, even positive ones. And please remember that any person who has blended in and was not cringy are more than likely also not remembered. Honor your individual path to success. Even if it raises eyebrows or if others don't agree, always remember that this is your life, okay? It's your life to succeed at. It's your life to fail at. And that is for you and you alone to explore. Unapologetic behavior breeds universal success. Which brings me to my next point. Embrace failure. Realize that failure is simply a part of the process. Failure is an inevitable part of success. When I say you need to nurture your ideas surrounding your dreams and surrounding being successful, that equally applies to nurturing your idea of failure and perhaps reframing your mindset around failure. A lot of people stay stagnant in a life that they do not want because they fear failure. And to which my response is that failure isn't something to fear unless you fear yourself, because failure is a choice. And when I say that, you're probably like, what do you mean, Carissa? Well, what I mean is failure is the decision to give up. If you have failed at something, it just means you've given up trying. And the minute that I shifted my mindset from failure being something that can happen to me, and I shifted it into, no, failure being a choice that I make for myself, the fear dissipated because I have fostered a relationship with myself enough to trust myself to not fail, to trust myself to not give up. And a lot of people mistake obstacles in your path as failure. Like, for example, as a YouTuber, if I were to post a video and the numbers flop and I don't make any money off the video or nobody watches it, I could easily be like, see, I told you I'm not meant to do this, I'm a failure, and then I give up and I never try again. That is absolutely failure. But in that failure, that is also a choice to give up. Do you see my point? In order to live a successful life, you have to let go of your fear of failure, which will inevitably be you letting go of the fear of yourself. You cannot love something and fear it. You cannot love yourself and be afraid of what you might potentially do. As long as you foster a healthy, loving relationship with yourself, there is absolutely nothing to be afraid of. Through your journey to success, there 100% is going to be roadblocks, mistakes, obstacles, and that absolutely does not mean that you have failed. It is simply just a test. It's a test from the universe. Even more than a test, what I like to view failure as is a redirection. So for example, in the same example of a YouTube video flopping, maybe that's just the universe signaling to me that that's not the type of content that I need to be making, and that's not my authentic path, and the universe has a better idea for me in store. So not only is failure a choice on your part, it is also a redirection from the universe. These obstacles in your path are simply just little nuggets of advice, little lessons from the universe, and the second you can kind of embrace that kind of mindset, you know, the faith and trust in yourself and the faith and trust in what the universe has planned out for you, the rest is just background noise. And my last point is prioritize your energy levels. Rest is productive. We live in a society that is go, 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 a hustle mentality. While taking action is absolutely crucial in making your manifestations come into our 3D reality, it's absolutely crucial in making your manifestations come to fruition, absolutely. Especially as someone living a creative life, rest is so productive. Being creative takes a lot of mental capacity. It takes a lot of energy. And if I'm not properly resting, I will not be creating my best work because I haven't given myself any time to reflect on what I've done thus far, and I haven't given my brain a break. Being in the state of rest and in the state of receiving is such a crucial part of manifestation. You want the universe to deliver your manifestations to you. You want to live this successful life, and I'm sure, and when you're thinking of the life you want to live, I'm sure rest is a part of that. I mean, many people dream of resting. So many people dream of resting. So just keep in mind that rest is just as productive as taking action, as working. Because what we don't want is you to reach a level of burnout, because if you're operating from a burnt out mindset, have fun trying to get things accomplished. Really, really important that you prioritize your mental health and your rest towards whatever goal you're trying to achieve. And that's about it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed my thoughts on success and hearing a little bit about my journey, and I hope to continue on the journey and keep embracing my authenticity and embracing myself and embracing the wildlife I really want to live, because it makes me oh so happy. and I want you guys to be happy as well. That's about it for today's video. Please let me know if you have any thoughts, put it down in the comments below. And if you have any advice on leading a successful life, please feel free to share in the comments. The more advice, the merrier. I love you guys so much, and I will see you with a new video next week. Bye!